hello. Hello out there in Facebook land. So I have got to the point where I need to get my my mobile phone. This could be a crying one, the way things are going. Oh, hang on a second. Facebook can be really difficult. Facebook can be really difficult. Facebook can be a real pain in the backside. So as to see. Cancel. Be back soon, I think. What's going on here? This is incredible. The amount of things that have gone wrong is incredible. Incredible. The sound went. Oh good, here we go. I'll just set this up in a minute. Well, I hope you're having a good day out there. I hope you're having a good day out there in YouTube land. I've got someone talking to me at the moment. So let's go. We're getting there. We're in the site. So just give me a second. I'll just set up Facebook. It just failed. So we'll see what we can do. I hope you're having a good day. Okay, I got the live. Yeah, that one's up and running. So why aren't you running? Get this one up and running. It's still out there. I hope you can't see me upside down. I hope that's not happening. I might have to hold that one. Hello? Just put it like that. So going into YouTube is cleaned. I'm just watching the accounts come online. Where is the one that I was holding it up? Oh, there it is. Just give me a sec. Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay, let's get that out of the way because I don't think it's going to work with Periscope because of, I'm not sure. I'll have to have a look when I've got more time. I hope you enjoyed the view of my roof. I'm just going to pop that like that. I think that's okay. I think that's better that way. So I'm just waiting for YouTube. I don't really get anything from there, so yep, we're up and going, so we'll go live now. Just put this one here. There's two cameras, so I'm sorry if I miss you. Look, hello and welcome to Alone With You, which is a daily Bible reading devotional, and I just read this book to you and that's it. That's not complicated. There's nothing complicated about reading a book. But I'll tell you what, when it comes to technology and you're talking and no one can hear you, it has its challenges because of the technology. So for the first time tonight, I'm actually going to do this live on Periscope. I've got another, it's on Facebook on my other phone, and we're going to see how we go. My challenge really with this ministry is to just read this book. And so if I'm talking to you on mobile phones, that means my studio has not worked. And I'll be busy all day tomorrow trying to figure out what went wrong. So please join me. So put that up there, put you up there. It's a little bit higher. So please join me, and we usually have a few sections. You know, this is the book giveaway. If you're new here, this is my book giveaway. It's called The Great Controversy, and it's about God's plan for all humanity. It's a must-read in every home. A must-read, friends. And I'm giving that away. All you have to do is just let me know. Hello out there on Facebook. You just have to let me know you want it. And that's it. I'll send it to you. Yeah, that's a good deal. And then the other thing that we have is the Bible question. I don't know if you're Bible people out there, but hi Michael. Michael's come back. You know, if you like the Bible, I have a Bible question for you tonight, and I just had a simple question. You can't see Michael's comments, but Michael always has an answer. And my question to you today is this: in the sanctuary, tell me, when you look at the sanctuary, which was from the book of Exodus, and that's where they had to set up the sanctuary and they had to do all these sacrificial services, my question is, where in the sanctuary can you see Jesus? Quite simply, where in the sanctuary can you see Jesus? Now, if you can hear me or see me, and I can see the people on Facebook. Oh, Michael just told me that he can hear me. That's good, and I hope you can hear me on Periscope as well. There's no point talking if no one can hear you, unless you can lip read. Okay, so tonight's reading comes to us from this book. This book is called Solid Ground, and it's by Mark Finlay. It is a Christian reading, by the way, just in case you guys didn't know. And this here is Mark Finlay. That's him. He's the author. It's a really good reading. I have been incredibly blessed by this book and these readings, and just doing them on a day-to-day basis, sharing the message with people. It has given purpose to my life. I haven't mentioned that I live with a chronic mental illness. Probably about 6 months ago, I was totally debilitated. I couldn't do anything. So I've been sharing my readings here online for about really challenging with the technology. Always the technology is the one to blame. And now my technology is saying, if you don't feed me, I'm not going to work anymore. Okay, now how am I going to do that? I'll do it like this. So I am constantly given challenges by this technology when it decides it doesn't want to work. So this book has given me a purpose to live in life, and I'd like to share that with you. I'm going this time to read it as clearly as I can. I'm not the best reader in the world, but I thought the book was worth listening to. So here we go. It's called Much More About Jesus is the title for today. So sit back and listen, and if you're not hearing me properly, let me know. Mike will be the first one to let me know. Okay. Much more Jesus. When they had lifted up their eyes, they saw no one but Jesus only. And that comes from the book of Matthew, chapter 17, verse 8. You know, Eliza Hewitt knew what it was like to experience tragedy. Her career as a public school teacher ended when an unruly student struck her with a heavy blackboard slate. Eliza suffered a severe spinal cord injury and was never able to teach again. While recovering from her injury, she turned to the promise of God that had been fulfilled in Jesus Christ. She was amazed at how accurately Old Testament prophecy pointed forward to the Messiah. In her distress, she covered a vital new relationship with Jesus. Overcome with emotion, she penned this well-known gospel song. I'm going to try and sing it for you. More about Jesus I would know, more of his grace to others show, more of his saving fullness see, more of his love he died for me. More about Jesus, more about Jesus. And I don't know the rest, and there's no other words, but if you might know that song. Whatever we know about Jesus, there is always much more to know. Whatever experience we have with Jesus, there is always much more to experience. The Apostle Paul regularly used the expression much more. He seemed to be filled with wonder when he says, much more than having now been justified by his blood, we shall be saved from wrath through him. He continues, much more, having been reconciled, we shall be saved by his life. In verse 15 he exclaims, much more the grace of God abounded to many. Paul uses the expression much more at least 10 times in his writings. For him there is always much more grace, much more forgiveness, much more pardon, much more righteousness, much more of Jesus. Jesus' love is infinite. The unsearchable riches of Christ speak. The pearl of great price speaks. The treasure hidden in a field speaks. They invite us to search his word, to discover the much more he has to offer. His gems do not lie on the surface. Deep calls unto deep. God is calling each of us to a relationship with Jesus. That goes beyond the surface. The deeps of God, the depths of God are calling us much more, much more of his grace than we can imagine. So what did you think about that? Do you have any comments, Michael? Now, just give me a second. Oh, here it is. My brain's not working today. My brain is not working. I've just forgotten so many things tonight, and I just can't remember things anymore. I hope that's not, anything serious. Anyways, so I'll just get what I was talking today. This reading was about a woman who was sort of knocked down in the prime of her life, and as a result, she never recovered to be able to go back to her career as a teacher. And this poor soul, basically, as a result of this, she got to have a relationship with God through it all. And that was her strength. Now Michael, my friend Michael, he's in Facebook, and he actually says God's grace is much greater than all our sins and problems. Thank you for sharing that, Michael. I really appreciate it. I think even myself, I was sort of knocked down. Hello, That's a very original name. Welcome, Chocolate Chip Bobby. It's their first on Periscope. Hello, Chocolate Chip Bobby. I like your name. Sounds very edible. And oh look, there's a Jesus Ra.66. I like that name. Oh yes, I was just about to tell you about myself. I was knocked out of action pretty much in the prime of life as well. And I think the result of that was having a relationship with God, which is quite extraordinary, you know. I really needed to depend on God a lot, and I was 30 when I got diagnosed with bipolar, and it's taken me a long time. I'm 45 now, and it's taken me a long time to actually, I'm just going from day to day, still going from day to day, dealing with the challenges that I have. But, you know, I also, hi, me do 2103, but I still consider myself blessed. It wasn't the journey I wanted to do. You know, I don't discard it as a possibility, but I think I really needed to care about my health, and that sort of in the prime of my life, I was looking after my health. I'm looking after having a mental disability. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer that. But I do also see that was a blessing for me. That was a huge blessing, because I needed to depend on God, and you know, there's no greater blessing. So, and I could so identify with tonight's reading. Can I ask you a question? Whereabouts in the world are you from? Well, the desire of my heart was to travel the world. I haven't fulfilled that yet. So if you could tell me where you're from, that would just amaze me. Hang on, I'll see what else Michael's doing. Anyway, there was a question. You may not agree. We had a Bible study, a Bible quiz question. We started with a Bible quiz question, and I would like to ask you, if you have the answers. The question was, correct me, Michael, if I've got it right. I wrote it down. There you go. You can't. I'm a little bit, my brain's not working at the moment. My memory's. Oh, in Meadow. I want to be and live beside you and give you. Well, that's very kind of you. I don't think you speak English too well, but thank you very much for the offer. Hello, Andrew Wellworm 7. I love the names. Anyway, so the question was, this week's question, actually all this program runs 8:30, God willing, most nights in Melbourne time. Hi, Andrew Wellworms 7, I like your name. The question was, where is Jesus in the sanctuary? Can you think of any places of anything that points to Jesus in the sanctuary that they used to have in Exodus, that where they set up the sanctuary? Can you think of anything, any types or any symbols that would point to Jesus in the sanctuary? Michael's gonna, how many, oh, we'll have to watch Michael because he'll give me all the, I can only think of a few, but apparently the whole sanctuary is all about the plan of salvation, and of course the center of the plan of salvation is Jesus. So you can actually see a lot of Jesus in the sanctuary. Obviously, the lamb that they were to bring, that was slaughtered, that was symbol of Jesus. That was a symbol of Jesus. All of it. Michael just said all of it, but more specifically the altar of burnt offering. That's from Facebook, by the way. The altar of burnt offering is really, really interesting because it sort of points through to the cross, you know, the death of Jesus. So that's what he said. I agree with him totally. And thank you for your hearts. That's very encouraging. So does anybody else have any other comments, Michael, or anybody want to say anything? Moo ba 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 too. Hi Moo ba 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 too. Nice to see you. Well, to see your name, I mean. So tonight was the first time my computer could. It's really difficult. There's a real challenge when you are, you know, you're talking about God. You're talking about God. There's always a challenge mainly because I think there's you know, this thing that they call the great controversy between good and bad. And so sometimes when you are doing something for God, you're going to come across opposition. So I know that I've come across a lot of opposition when I'm talking on a mobile phone. And stuff hasn't worked. That's an indication to me that we've sort of, that's the last resort, is talking on a mobile phone. So you may not know, there's a few people here. So, oh, hang on, Michael said something. Glad it worked out finally. Michael's saying that he's glad that it worked out finally. I agree, Michael. Yeah, so that's what this side is about. It's about me challenge. That's just something. It's a ministry. It's something that I do for God. All I have to do is read this book because I wanted to read it, share it, because I believe that the message is going to help people, and it blessed me so much, and that I wanted to share the blessings with you. And that's how I ended up doing this daily show, which is only about half an hour or so. We do sort of restream out to Facebook and to other platforms. It's getting difficult to do it, but Periscope is actually probably the best I've come across so far. I find Facebook is difficult to reach people, just mainly because of the way. Oh, thank you, Andrew Wallworm7. God bless you too. Just the way they've designed their system, it's very difficult to get people's attention. And you know, you think you take it personally, but it's not actually. It's just the way they've set it up. But if you pay money, oh my goodness, you can get everybody's attention. Anyway, look, I've been talking. It's at Kmart 24 hours where I'm located. You're not supposed to do that, but I'm not supposed to do that, but I did tonight, to just pretend that you can't see that. Yeah, it's been really good doing this. It's a wonderful way. I think if you're ever looking for a way to share your faith, and I've been looking around Periscope, there's lots of people doing it. It's good to be able to talk to people. Well, yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. Michael? Michael? Are you there, Michael? Michael? Wow, my camera's really not that. It's okay. You're very lucky people. See, I'm really happy when no one watches because oh no, I was just saying how much I like it when no one's watching. That's the way my brain thinks. I've just got one more thing I'm gonna do, Michael. we got the song that we, I don't know. Well, I think we are in that at the end times. I mean, if you read now, what is it? The book, is it? I can't remember. I'm sorry, my brain's not working, guys. But in the Bible, I've got my Bible, but hang on. It's either Luke 24 or Matthew 24. I'm sorry, I can't tell you. Can't remember anything at the moment. But in there, I know it's in there because I read it. Yeah, it's either 24, Luke 24 or Matthew 24. It can't be. I'm sorry, I can't quote the. I mean, hang on a minute, but. All right, let me have a look. I got my Bible. I got my sword. It was holding up the mobile phone. Anyway, let's go. I think it's in the book of Luke. If you look in the book of Luke, you're going to find, where is it, Michael? You know where it is. I don't. I do. I'm just going to find it. I just need to. Bear with me. Well, it's not in that book. So let's try Luke. I think it's Luke 24. And, yes, Michael, does that mean it's Luke 24? I'll know for sure. Hello, ha. Take your time. Michael says yes, it's Luke 24. I'm getting there, Michael. Well, there's a whole chapter. It's an interesting. No, I don't think that is it. This can't be it, Michael. I don't think that's it. No, wrong book. Let's go to... Try that again. Let's try Matthew this time. We'll try Matthew. See, if you're not sure, if you've got your Bible, you can always look it up and find out. I think that's important. That's really, really important. Do any of you have, hi, Jonathan David Skinner. I am 20 years old. Praise the Lord. Got a whole life ahead of you. Okay, now, number 24. Jesus foretells the future. That particular chapter, yeah, thank you, Jonathan David Skinner. Actually talks about all the different things that will happen in the last days, and Jesus talks about this. And I've read that. So let me have a look at this. So Ahaha, that's a very happy name. Yes, I do believe, based on this here chapter, that we are in the end of times. And I think you don't even need to be a Christian to have an idea that we are at the end of times. You know, people who don't even believe in God know that something's up. You can just see it. The world is, I believe the world is, oh, thank you, I love Jesus. So we're all, I missed the stuff. We're in the last days. Is God coming back soon? Of course he's coming back soon. He's coming back. He has to come back. He said he would. If you believe in him, he said he would, he will. And he is coming back. I know that. That's the only thing that keeps me going, I think. So we are all on this earth for now. Yep, that is right. Until you die, or Jesus gets back, one or the other. Are we in the last days? Well, we just talked about that silly and we found that in the book of Matthew, if you read chapter 24, you'll see that a lot of signs that are mentioned in there are actually, they coincide with what we're doing now. It's incredible. It's not a coincidence. This is a fulfillment of prophecy. I'm not a, by the way, I like to read, but I'm not I'm not like a Bible scholar. Let's just put it that way. My computer's broken again. Oh, here we go. All out, but specifically the... Michael, I can't get to you online. My computer... Oh, here it goes. Matthew 24. That's what it says. I found it. We are in the last days, and that's a positive thing. If anyone's watching going, oh my gosh, the world's going to come to an end, it's actually a positive thing. Things will not go on forever. People think this world is their home, but it is not. You know what, Jonathan David Skinner, I agree with you. That is true. God will take us all home. This is just a temporary home. Thank God for that. What's our daily devotional for today? Well, on a daily basis, I read this book, It's called Solid Ground by Mark Finlay. I've been reading it myself. I wanted to just share something with people, and I got such a blessing out of this book that I decided that I would read the daily devotionals online. It's been amazing. It's been quite miraculous. I live with a mental disability, which is why my brain's not working tonight. And so just having something to do on a daily basis has been a real blessing. And I've been able to do it for 2 months now. 6 months ago, friends, I couldn't even get out of bed. So to be able to come every day and just read my little book about God that I love has just been a miracle. Yeah. It just gives me a bit of purpose in my life. What gives you purpose in your life? You know? Hi, Speed Theft. Join. Things I buy like a ring. Cool. It just be here for... Oh, now I know what you're talking about. Yes, temporary things. Things in this world are truly temporary. There's one thing that's not temporary in this world, and that's us. You and me. To God, we are very, very valuable. And, so there is something here, and we can be around for an eternity. We don't have to be temporal as things are for now. I hope you understand. Not last days for us. It's new beginning. I know that's very good. When the last days come, for those who have a faith in Jesus, they know it's going to be a new beginning, and we look forward to that blessed hope. And it's something I dream about a lot, and I want to be a part of. There's a few comments coming, and I'm not so everything is temporary. So everything is temporary. To you, have OCD? No, I have bipolar. Is it evening there? Yes, it is. I feel like a bad... You feel like you had a bad childhood? Do you have OCD? I don't have OCD. I have bipolar. Yes. Is it evening there? Yeah, it's evening. My computer broke down, so I usually go at 8:30 Melbourne time, but my computers didn't work, so it's 10 o'clock. But I wanted to just read my book. That's all I had to do today. I have one job. and I finally did it, so thank God for that. I never thought reading could be so wonderful. Temporary things I buy. I feel like a bad childhood. Does that mean you feel like you had a bad childhood, or maybe I had a bad childhood, or how did you know? Can you clarify that one for me, Jonathan David Skinner? You had a bad childhood. You know, I could tell you that even I had a bad childhood. I had a rotten one, and but by the grace of God, I'm still here today. Yes, they were being rude to me. Are we talking about the children? Oh, you were bullied. That's not nice. It's not nice when people treat you that way. I'm sorry that happened to you, Jonathan David Skinner. I am so sorry that you had that experience. You know, who stopped you from being bullied? Oh, bullying really does hurt people in a bad way. It really does. Psychological abuse, emotional abuse. So a child helped you. Well, thank God that there was a child there to help you. Yeah. Unfortunately, when I was bullied, I learnt to fight my way out of things. So you were lucky that someone helped you. It be I. Okay. Wata Abomo. Very nice name. That sounds African. I hope it is. I hope it didn't mean to offend you, but I feel like I have to go from my youth group. Oh, is somebody bullying you in your youth group? Now am too old for it. Well, yeah, there is a time when you have to move on. How old are you? Because like a youth group is supposed to be from teenage years up to 35, isn't it? I am 20. Gosh, you're only young. I know you said you were young before, but wow. Wow. Oh, that's wonderful. I feel like I have to go from my youth group. You're 20 years old. Well, you still need to be a part of your youth group because, well, you're still a youth. You're not an adult. Youth group, I think, my understanding is it okay that I have to go from my youth group to the next thing's activities? Only if you want to, you know. I mean, if you like being with your youth group, stay with your youth group. If you want to move on to the next part, tell them you'd like to move on. Bigger and better things, but I still think that in my world, a youth is someone from the late teens all the way up to the age of 35. It's 30, maybe 30. I don't know, 30. It's a very big age group, the youth. I think you'd be looking around up to 30. Yeah, it's quite big. So you're only 20. So I would hang out with those young people because you're a young person too. Well, you know, feeling old is only in your mind. Here I am at 45, hearing you saying that you're old at 20, and I'm thinking, People will come in who are 11 years old. Well, if that's a young youth group, like that age, maybe you need to go up to the more mature youth group. Yeah, well, 11's very young, so it's obviously a very young group. So I don't think, you know, that age, probably if you're hitting about 20, 19, maybe 18, I would probably move you up to the next group. I would, because I just think that they're younger. Yeah, that's good, and you'll meet people there. You know, you'll make friends. Well, you see, it's only as old as you feel, but 20 is only the beginning. And you know, 25 years ago, I was 20. Make the most of it. Make the most of it. You've got the energy. You've got the youth on your side. Yeah, make the most of it. You know, if you are in the 20-year-old and you're in a group with very young people, I would consider them young. I'd actually consider them children, by the way. From 11, you know, that young age, you could be a leader to them. Yeah, they're kids. So you're 20, so you probably need to go with the older kids. See, at my age, I call everybody a kid. Yeah, that's what I say. You could be a leader to those young children at 20. Older children, well, you know what I mean, those young people. You could be a leader to them at 20. Do you like the responsibility, Jonathan David Skinner? Adults. Adults, you called them. Okay. I've done a lot of work with young children, so I love kids. So it's something and then when you get to the older youth, I just think of them as children, but I call them children, but that's just, they're not. They're adults, but I do call them children. P.A. Davis. Pa Davis joined. Hello. I was just having a chat with somebody and talking about their age. I'd just like to let you know, in my opinion, in my unprofessional opinion, I believe that 20 is the best age ever to be a part of. They have to go. Okay, well they may have rules around that. There may be rules around that, Jonathan, because of the age group. When you know, especially when you're dealing with children who are under the age of 18. That's okay. I have good ears. I like to listen. It's yeah. I like to talk. I think this, if you know, if you have if you're part of a group and you're moving on, that can be a little bit of anxiety. Yes, because I am 18, 20, it's time for me to go. If I'm old for it. Well, embrace the challenges, the change. Might be the best thing you ever did. Sounds exciting, actually. You'll get used to it. You'll get used to it. And I'll tell you something about kids in that age, people, adults in that age. They can still be like children. Yeah. Get used to it. You'll get used to it. It's good that you're at a youth group. It's not easy to get used to this, but it will be okay. I try to find bigger and better things. Yeah, just be open to trying bigger and better things, and you'll find that your life will be blessed. Yeah, to do now. Yeah. Well, you could travel the world. Find another youth group. Find another youth group. I don't have my youth group. Oh, you're going to go to Uganda. Oh, that's exciting. See? I wish I could go to Uganda. Uganda. Wow. So yeah, I've been to New Zealand. I come from New Zealand. I'm a Kiwi. If anyone knows what that means, I'm a Kiwi. And I came over to Australia and I live in Melbourne. That's it. That's my, I mean, I've travelled all around Victoria and Australia, New Zealand, quite a lot. Oh, with Mission Direct. Well, that's exciting. Wow, see, that's what 20-year-olds should be doing. 20-year-olds should be travelling the world on mission for God. That makes me very happy. Wow, that's exciting, Jonathan. I'm really happy for you. I'm really, really happy for you that you're doing that. It's extraordinary. You'll love it. You will love doing that. Oh my God. I go to Uganda with my parents next year. I might do it again. Do you live in Africa, or are you, which part of the world do you come from? Mission Direct. Well, that's exciting. Congratulations, Jonathan David Skinner. You're a legend. In my eyes. In my eyes. Well, congratulations. That's amazing. Now, you might be you might think you're an old young person, but you're doing some wonderful things with your life, Jonathan, and I thank you for sharing that with me. You've basically made my day. Hello, hello. So, anyway, this was the end of my reading. I've already done the devotional. And the only one that's going to this, you know what, you're going to be blessed. Jonathan David Skinner, you are going to be blessed. And I know God will bless you. Hello, QHTN. Hi. Mission Direct. No one in my youth group is going to it. Well, at least you are focused on serving God. Hi, QHTN. Just me and one other person. Oh, I'm very, very happy to hear that. I love to... Hello, QHTN, and you like your eyes. I'm so happy to hear that. Who've already gone? Wow. Wow. That is so exciting. It'll just be me. Just be me. Doesn't... Who else does it need to be? You know? Wow. All the best with that mission trip. And I know God will be with you. And He will bless you dearly. Hello, Carlos333. Oh, wow. You know, Jonathan, you sound to me like a person who obviously loves God. And to be such a young person and going out and doing things for the Lord, you know, that's incredible. Absolutely incredible. And I know God will bless you on your mission trip. I used to do mission trips. I used to be a closet missionary. I tried to go and do mission trips without telling anyone. And I love my mission trips. You know, God bless me on my mission trips, well and truly. And also doing a PowerPoint in front of your church also takes a lot of courage. So thank you very much for sharing that. Oh, wow. That's probably because you feel comfortable to talk, and that's good. I have a knack of doing that. That's, I did really well. They told me I was so good. Well, that's really good. That's very, very good. Yeah. As I got older, I got better at it. Wow. Well, that is incredible. I got better at it. And that's what happens. And you know, the more things you do for God, the more He'll bless you. I know. In the last 5 years, I also went out of my... I decided to serve God, and I was serving God full time as what they call a literature evangelist, going around and selling health books and things like that. And so I've done ministry, and I really loved it, but my health sort of gets the better of me now. Hello, with Yumi. You did a talent show. I shared my jokes in my youth group. You did a talent show. What did... Hi, Donald. How you going? Thoughts on Trump? I don't have thoughts on Trump. I don't even watch TV. I don't listen to him. But I think that he's doing great things for America. You're very welcome. Jason, they thought it was that people hear you. Yeah, it is. Does Australia have a wall? No, we don't. We don't need a wall. It was from Harry Hill joke book. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Oh, that's very brave of you to get up and tell jokes. You'd like to visit Australia, Mr. Real Donald Trump. Oh, gosh, I don't know if they'd want you here. I don't mean to be offensive, but, you know, the people, you know what they're like. Trump is coming in November. You're gonna Trump us on down. I feel sorry for you. But everyone complains about Trump and they think, you know, he could be crazy. But you know what? I think he's a real leader, that guy, and he knows a lot more than he's letting on. I think he's actually, yeah, that's what I think. I mean, he's got a multi-billion-dollar business. He obviously knows what he's doing. Yeah, I think he is. I think he's but I don't watch TV. I don't know anything about him. Sorry, real Donald Trump. But I do know that what I've seen of him, I believe that he's a man who knows how to lead a country. He's got the skills. So they loved it. Can you tell me a joke? Can you tell me a joke, Jonathan? They were laughing at my jokes a lot. Oh, he keeps his promises. Well, that's good. A man who keeps his word is a man who can be trusted. Okay, tell me a joke.